Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife Karina. And the live stream finally started 5 minutes late. We couldn't get a connection. All these hurricanes coming through the Gulf of Mexico. Who knows? But we made it. We're on the channel. We're alive. And this is your YouTube channel, by the way. We created it for you. Karina's idea. Karina's from Venezuela, and she had her scary visa interview at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, November 16th, 2023. She had a biometrics in Bogota, Colombia. She had a medical exam in Bogota, Colombia on the ninth floor of the doctor's office. And here we are giving you all this free advice on how to process your green card, your K1 visa, your spousal visa, your tourist visa. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS. I don't give you any legal advice, but I've been doing this for almost 10 years. 9.5 years. I mean, this chair is so old, okay? If you look at it, you can see how old it is. Karina says, I got to get a new chair. Nueve silo. I got to get a new one. So I'll get a new one eventually. But this channel was put together with Karina's idea to help you get your green card, your K1 visa approved without making stupid mistakes. Don't make silly mistakes. When you don't need an immigration attorney to put a visa package together for a K1 or a green card or a spousal visa. You don't. It's an easy process. And Miguel is first on the chat. Miguel says, hi, Diego and Karina. How was the hurricane? It was great. I'm sure it was fantastically strong. But thank goodness it didn't hit here. We've been lucky this summer. So far, we've been lucky. Okay, we've had hurricanes go this way, and then tropical storms go this way and that, and we're right over here. So it's like here and here and here, everywhere but where we are right. I don't think our luck's going to hold out for next summer, honestly. I don't think we're going to be lucky next. And yet the season doesn't end. Hurricane season isn't over. It doesn't end till November. Francois Livingston is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Diego and Karina. How are you two doing? We are great. Now, Francois, who lives in upstate New York, she just flew all the way to the United Arab Emirates, went to the scary visa interview with Hamid, her prometido, and then passed the visa exam, the visa interview, flew all the way back to the United States to upstate New York via JFK, New York City, and she's on the live stream with us. I thought you'd be tired, cansada. Okay, you've been with Hamid. I figured you'd be wore out with all that traveling. Miguel, how often do you see people get scheduled for green card appointments? I've never seen one. Well, I saw one person have a green card interview in Los Angeles one time. As long as I've been running this channel for you guys with Karina, this is your channel, I saw one person have to go in front of a immigration officer for a green card interview. And why was that? Because he put together a weak, pitiful, sloppy green card application with minimal information. No joint bank account evidence, no evidence of being on the services, the water bill, the electric bill. There's no evidence of anything. The only thing they put in their green card application was a few pictures of the wedding, the I-94, the marriage certificate, the 864, the 485, and they did a repeat medical exam. And that was basically it. So he gets called in for a Stokes green card interview. Now, what a Stokes interview is that the sponsor goes in one room and the beneficiary goes in another room. And she was from Thailand. And they have individual interviews. And the consular officer says to the guy, why doesn't your wife have a joint bank account with you? He said she does. He said, where's the evidence? Show me the proof. Well, you got no evidence of anything. He said, I'm a Marine. I'm serving my country. I don't have to give you any evidence of anything. I'm a Marine. Well, let me explain something. Homeland Security couldn't care less. Well, they're grateful for your service to the country, but they couldn't care less about your position. You could be the president of the United States, marrying a person from a foreign country, going through a K-1 visa interview or a green card interview. The process is exactly the same. There's no special treatment for anybody, including Marines. So this consular officer says, well, I'm not going to approve your wife's green card because you cannot prove to me right now that you're in a legitimate relationship. There's no joint bank account. She's not on the title to your car. She's not on the lease agreement on your apartment in Los Angeles. She's not on the electric bill. Where is all this evidence? So I'm going to cancel. I'm going to deny the green card. And then he said, unless tomorrow, senor, tomorrow you return to my office right here at 10 a.m. in the morning, Los Angeles time, with all this proof that I just told you I need to see. I need to see her on a joint bank account. I need to see her on the electric bill, the rent agreement to your apartment. I want to see lots and lots of pictures of you guys together with family and friends in California. And you got till tomorrow to come with that information, or I'm going to cancel your wife's green card. Yeah, he said, I'm a Marine. Why do I got to prove all this? He said, sir, you're a Marine. Thank you for your service. But this is an immigration process. It's not an enlistment in the Marine Corps. So the next day, he came back to the consular office in Los Angeles with all the evidence that he should have included when he first applied for the darn thing in the beginning. And the officer said, okay, you got all your proof that you're in a real relationship. He said, you're going to have a lucky day today. I'm going to approve your green card. But normally I would have denied it. I should have denied it yesterday, but I gave you an opportunity because you're a Marine. I gave you one chance to prove the relationship. So when you submit your green card application, if you don't want to go in front of another immigration officer for another freaking interview, make sure you put together a strong green card package. Make sure your wife is on everything that you are connected to, and that you can prove cohabitation, and that you can prove financial support. Okay, you got it. So there you go, Miguel. That's the answer to your question. Francois, let's see. Glad to see you two safe. Guess who's back in the USA? Francois is back in the United States of America. Now, the United States is a constitutional republic. Welcome back, Francois. We're glad you're here. So, Miguel, how often do you see people get scheduled for green card appointments? I've seen one as long as the channel's been running. In my 10 years of experience, close to 10 years of experience, I've only seen, I've heard of about 3 or 4, but I only know one for sure. So it's very rare. But you got to make sure you put a green card package together that's good. Dina Alley gets the first Mountain Dew salute. Look at that super sticker from Dina. Look at that. A Mountain Dew salute for Dina. And for Dina's future husband and her family. Thank you, Dina, for that. We appreciate that. Let me see. Easy E. Hi, Diego and Karina. Good to see you, Easy E. We're glad to see you on the channel. Congratulations, Francois from Easy E. And Easy E to Francois, I was rooting for you the past 2 weeks. God is good. Dina, another super chat. That's a super chat and a super sticker. Well, look at that. That's for Karina. Karina gets the Hardee's. And I get the Mountain Dew. So that's going to go for the Hardee's big breakfast. Okay? And your super chat will get me some Mountain Dew tomorrow at Walmart. Jose Apolana Ramirez. Hi, Karina and Diego. I am so sorry for your great loss of Tokyo. My wife and I have a dog. That is our life. My condolences to you and Karina. Now, we appreciate that. And Karina had a very long, difficult, 10 days, 12 days, almost 2 weeks. It's almost 2 weeks without Tokyo. So what I did was I was kind of sneaky, and I went ahead and I went and got another kitty. What do you think? This kitty right here is a girl kitty, and her name is Venny. It's Venny. Okay, now it's not a replacement for Tokyo. Tokyo is always going to be Tokyo. But Venny now is in the house. Now, Venny was born in Miami, and her mama was from Peru. And then she relocated from Florida and couldn't take the cat with her. So I ran over to her house and took the cat. I said, I'll take care of the cat. And then she said, well, keep him. Keep her. I said, okay. And now Kuna has baby Venny. Now, where did we get the name Venny from? Well, Venny is short for Venezuela, right? Venny, Venezuela. Dina, hi, Diego and Karina. Hope you're doing well. Guess what, Diego? I have good news. Okay, Dina, what is it? Come on. Haha, you're welcome. What is it, Dina? What's your good news? My fiance, Diego, my fiance came. He made a surprise for me, and he came to the United States. He's already in America. Our friend is in America. Dina, tell me. You need to be more specific, so I can give you a Mountain Dew salute. Let's see. Adriano Moro. Hi, Diego. My fiance and I already have new medical exam, and on Monday we're going to drop it off at the embassy in Dakar. You listened to me. You paid attention in class, right? To get the passport back with the visa, and she can fly with me back to America. Adriano, you listened to me. Mountain Dew salute. So I saved your K1 visa from going into oblivion, right? I saved your visa because you didn't know what to do. And you're on the channel, your channel. You learned how to fix it. Now you fixed it. Now you're going to go get the K1 and get on a plane and fly to America. Right, Adriano? Tell me I'm right. Yeah, Dina Ali, thank you for the super sticker and the super chat. It's going to go, Karina gets to breakfast, and I can get a 6-pack of Mountain Dew. Adriano, Diego, after dropping off the medical exams, how long does it take to get the passport back from the embassy in Dakar, which is in Senegal? It shouldn't take a week, 10 days, something like that, Adriano. A week to 10 days. Dina, yes, he's with me now in San Diego. All right. So your prometido flew all the way to San Diego. He got his visa. We pulled you over the finish line, right? We pulled you over the finish line, and we got you the visa, and now you're together in San Diego. The best climate in the world is in San Diego. The best weather in the United States is in San Diego. But the price of gas sucks. So I would live in San Diego if it wasn't for the crazy taxes and the price of gas and the price of food. Other than that, the weather's great. Let me see. Dina, I'm done. Thank you for your help. Yeah. Now you got to get married and get your green card, get the green card in process. But don't submit a weak green card application. You got to put together a very strong green card application. Jose Apolina Ramirez. My wife Juliana received her green card yesterday in the mail. There you go. She applied from New York City for I-485 on April 24th, 2024. April, let's say May, June, July, August, September, October, right? So about 6 months, 5 months and a couple of weeks. Thank you for everything. That's what you meant to say, right? Jose gets a Mountain Dew salute. Man, I'm getting through Mountain Dew pretty quick today. Lots of happy posts. And we got Vinny, our cat, down there on the floor. I don't know if he's going to chew on something or what. She's just a little baby. Last night I was watching TV. Karina was sleeping. I was watching TV. And Vinny the cat went up and pulled the plug out of the TV, and the TV went off. I'm like, what the heck? It reminds me of Tokyo in Colombia. Tokyo broke our TV. Mm-hmm. Now Vinny's unplugging our TV here. I'm like, what is it with cats and TVs? So Dina Ali is happy as a clam in San Diego. Everything's good. And Dina says, I love San Diego. I live all my life here. Well, I love San Diego too. I've been to San Diego. It was a beautiful place to visit. I went to a restaurant called Dick's Last Resort, and they were throwing napkins at me with soaked in ketchup. But it was a great experience to be in San Diego. I just don't like the governor of California. He's destroying your state, your beautiful state. But elections have consequences. So hopefully you get a better governor soon. I think he's being term limited out. So congratulations to Jose Ramirez for your wife Juliana, to Juliana. Joe Nahadi. Hi Diego, what is my employment authorization category as a K1 visa holder? Well, I made a video about it. I have made a video about what is the category for the EAD document for a K1 visa holder. So I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head. But if you look for the video across the channel, you can watch the video. It's about a minute long, and it will tell you the answer. But I'm trying to remember the name of the video. It's if you type in like Diego Ross, I don't know, Diego Ross authorization category. I don't know. It's something like that. Authorization category, if I can get the spelling right. For EAD, I'm going to write it out right here. You should be able to find the video, and it will tell you the answer to the question. I know I've made a video on how to put together a work permit, and I've made a video on what the authorization the number is for the authorization. I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Dina, I love San Diego. I live here all my life. I love San Diego too, but the taxes would kill me, okay? Francois Livingston, Diego, at the airport in the UAE, the Department of Homeland Security took all the papers in the UAE and stamped Hamid's passport with the famous 90-day stamp. Didn't have to do anything at JFK. There you go. So you're all worried about nothing, right? You got through it. You're done. Interview went well at the U.S. Embassy. Excellent. By the way, got a couple of magnets for you and Karina. Well, thank you, Francois. A magnet for our fridge, which is leaking water. The fridge. So it's leaking water in the. I got to figure out what's wrong with the fridge, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. But thank you, Francois, for the magnets for the fridge. That wherever we go somewhere, like we went to New Orleans for the biometrics, right? We looked at the price of steaks at the Hard Rock Cafe, and I said, I'm not paying $60 for a freaking steak. So I bought some magnets for the fridge. So we got a magnet on the fridge. When we were in Colombia, we ate at the Hard Rock Cafe in Bogota. The steak was $8, not $60. So we ate there. I bought 2 big steaks with fries and everything else that goes with it. The mushrooms, champignon. It was delicious, but it was $8 a piece. So I paid about $25 for 2 big steak dinners, including drinks of not Mountain Dew, Coke. We drank Coke. They have Mountain Dew in Colombia. And it was $25. The same thing in New Orleans would have cost me $120. That's Bidenomics, right? Let me see here. So I'm glad that Francois made it back to the United States with Hamid without any issues. They survived the scary visa interview, right? And we've got Dina Ali in San Diego, now reunited with her beautiful prometito. Now, when you get married, Dina, okay, there's a bit of a delay in getting a marriage certificate in San Diego. It's a big city. So it may take a while to get the marriage certificate. So what you need to do is go down to the courthouse and ask them, what is the time, what's the delay, what's the time frame for getting the marriage license and getting the marriage certificate? because you want to try to get all this stuff done within 90 days if you can do it. Now, you got to get married within 90 days, but you don't have to file for the green card within 90 days. Okay? You don't have to file for your green card within 90 days. You got to get married within 90 days. That's what the status means. So find out how long it's going to take. And our cat, I don't know what he's doing, what she's doing. It's going to be a delay probably because San Diego is a big city. So there's lots of people getting married. So investigate the time between getting the license and the marriage certificate. So Francois made it easy through the airport in UAE and in the United States. Francois Livingstone. We weren't interviewed at the airport in the UAE. No. Took all the papers and passport, and then in a bit, officer hands him his passport and says, "Congratulations." And that gets a big Mountain Dew salute for Francois, because you went through a lot of mud puddles to get to this point. It was a long, drawn out, difficult, stressful, expensive process for Francois. It costs you what? An arm and a leg just to ship stuff, FedEx or UPS, however you send it to the United Arab Emirates, all the documents. John Natty, excuse me, guys. Hi, Diego, on the form I-485, page 8, part 6, do I claim my spouse's kids? Well, let's look at the form, because the 485 is the application for the green card, okay? That's the application for the green card for the beneficiary, not the sponsor. So let's pull up the form right here. Let me pull it out. It's 20 pages long, and you said on page 8, let's go to page 8, and I'll give you all this information on page 8, and I'm going to tell you what the answer is. Information about prior marriages. Page 8. Information about your marital history. It's asking, do I claim my spouse's kids? Well, this is page 8 is information. Okay, part 6, information about your children. Include the total number of all living children that you have. The term children includes all biological, legally adopted children as well as current stepchildren. Well, if you are married, which you are because you're filing for the green card with the 485, okay, then these children are now, your K2s are now your children. They're your stepchildren. So it says part 6, information about your children. The term children includes all biological or legally adopted children, as well as current stepchildren of any age. So yes, you are going to have to claim your children, your stepkids, right here. The number's going to go right here. Yes, you do. So I just saved you $400 phone call to an immigration attorney. Pretty good, right? Yes, you have to. Let me see here. So Joel, on page 8, part 6, you claim your spouse's kids. Yes, that number goes in that block. Francois Livingston, refresh my memory. Social Security card before the wedding or after? Well, you live in New York, okay, upstate New York. And I don't think New York is on that list where you have to get a Social Security card before you can get married. So it's up to you. It's up to you. If you want to put Hamid on your bank account, you need a Social Security number. All right? If you want to put him on your bank account, you need a Social Security number. It only takes 10 days to get a Social Security number. You go down to the Social Security Administration. Listen up, Francois. You go to the Social Security Administration with the I-94, the passport, Hamid's passport, his I-94, and apply for the Social Security number. It's going to be a restricted Social Security number, okay, because you don't have the green card yet. You don't have the work permit. And then you get it in about 10 days. And then when you get the Social Security number, you can go put him on your bank as a joint account holder. And then you're going to wait a month or two and wait for some bank statements to come in. with his name on it as a joint account holder. This is what we did, okay? And I don't know what the cat's up to. Look, Vin, the cat's trying to climb out the window. What we did was we came to the United States. I accompanied Karina to the United States from Colombia. We went down to the Social Security office, got her a Social Security number. Then when she got a Social Security number, I put her on the bank as a joint account holder. When she got her green card, we went back to the Social Security Administration and changed her status to permanent resident. And look at these super stickers. Francois, Mountain Dew salute for helping us, getting us through. What a journey. It was like a ride on Thunder Mountain in Disney World, right? Jose Apolinar Ramirez, thank you for all of your help in this lengthy process. Juliana received her green card yesterday. Thanks. Yeah, Senor. Mountain Dew salute, Francois. And a Mountain Dew salute, Jose and Juliana and Hamid, too. Let's not forget Hamid. And another Mountain Dew salute for Francois. You're welcome. Remember, Francois, everybody, I got 10 years of all this immigration stuff in my head, okay? I've been through this process before, right? Karina is a living example of how to do this. She's here in America. She's got a green card. She got her Florida driver's license. She got a Social Security number. She got a job. She's working. She's assimilating into the American way of life. She's learning English. You guys can do it too. You all can do this, okay? And I've got all this information up here, and I data dump it to you guys, and you use it to help you, so you don't have to pay an immigration attorney a ridiculous amount of money, because the process isn't difficult as far as paperwork. What's difficult is the waiting and the cost and the separation. The family separation is horrible. So Joe, you got to, there you go. You're welcome, Joe. Francois, refresh my memory. You can go get your Social Security number tomorrow. Not tomorrow, tomorrow's Sunday, but on Monday, go get it. Go get a Social Security number. Then you can put them on the bank. Then you're joint account holders, right? And then you'll start waiting for bank statements to come in, and you're going to include those in your green card application. So Francois and Jose, thank you for those super chats, guys. Denise Jefferson, hello, Diego and Karina. We were able to speak with USCIS concerning the increase in time frame. They advised our interview was waived. Well, I already told you that. We knew that, but it does not change our place in line. No, everybody gets in line to wait. Right now, it's about 9 to 10 months. I would say 9 months. Mountain Dew salute to Denise anyway for taking the initiative to call USCIS. But don't waste your time calling USCIS. It's going to take 6 to 9 months to get the green card. Mountain Dew salute, Denise. And to Kenneth. And to everybody in Utah, because it's going to be wintertime soon and you're going to be all snowed in. Denise, relax, okay? You're going to get the green card. You're not going to have to go through an interview. I already told you, you said you followed the videos that I made, right, on how to adjust status for a green card. You said you followed the videos, right? Which means what? Well, it means you're a good student. You paid attention in class. And I said you're not going to get an interview. And then you called USCIS, and they confirmed what I told you. And they also confirmed what I told you, that it's going to be a 6 to 9 month wait time for the green card. You're going to get it. Kenneth is going to get his green card. I promise you. Now, I don't promise much. I don't ever make a promise very often. But I promise you, Denise Jefferson, you and Kenneth will be in happy bliss for eternity, and soon he will get his green card. 9 months is probably the max. We're with you, Denise. We know it sucks. We know you want him to get him the green card. He's going to get it. It's going to be mailed to him from Corbin, Kentucky. Corbin, Kentucky, they're the folks that make the green cards and the work permits. There's a company in Corbin, Kentucky that works as a contractor for General Dynamics, that works as a subcontractor of USCIS. General Dynamics is a company that builds airplanes for the US military. They have top secret clearances that you wouldn't believe. So they are trusted with your documents being private. And they got this computer where they create the green cards and the work permits where you can't make a fake one. That's why it takes so long sometimes, because a green card in the past used to be just like a driver's license. But now it's an encrypted document. You cannot fake it. So the processing takes a bit longer. Okay? But Denise, if I've pulled you all the way through this from the beginning, right? All the way through Nigeria to here, I said you were going to get a work permit. You got a work permit. Now I promise you, Kenneth's going to get his green card. He's going to get it. Denise Jefferson, can you give us your opinion on what that means? As they said, it could be 9 months. It's going to take between 6 to 9 months to get a green card. Okay? So when you applied, okay, start that as the countdown for a maximum of, I would say, 9 months. You got it? Diego, can you explain what was meant by it does not necessarily change our place in line? What that means is you don't have an expedite in process. What that means is you filed for a green card and you're waiting for it just like anybody else. Okay? But let's suppose, Denise, you were in the U.S. military and you suddenly received deployment orders to Spain. You're in the Air Force and you're getting orders to Spain. You got to go to Spain in 2 weeks or in 3 months. Let's suppose you got to go to Spain in the military in 2 months from now. You do an expedite for the green card. Look, I'm getting deployed to Spain. I'm in the Air Force. I'm active duty military. I need a freaking green card for Kenneth so he can travel with me to Spain as my husband. Boom. That's an expedite. You'll get it in the next 2 weeks, if not sooner. But right now, you're waiting in line like everybody else. So what does it mean? It won't change our place in line. What it means is when your green card was received by, you live in Utah. So where did your green card application go? Phoenix, Arizona. Then it goes to Corbin, Kentucky. What it means is nothing's changed. You're still in line. You're still in queue. It's like you're in Disney World, right? You're in Disney World and you're waiting to ride Space Mountain. And there's a long freaking line for Space Mountain. And you're waiting and waiting, but you're going to ride Space Mountain because it's a heck of a ride. So you're not going to worry about the line. You're just going to be in line and wait. But if you bought a fast pass, when you bought your ticket to Disney World, you can buy a fast pass. You can go to the front of the line. Right? But you got to pay more money. But you cannot pay for an expedite for a green card. There's no such thing. But if you were in the military, active duty, you could expedite the green card and get it in a couple of weeks. But you're not in the military, you're not active duty. You got no reason for an expedite. So basically, you don't have a fast pass. So you're going to be in line to ride Space Mountain just like everybody else. But eventually, you're going to get to sit down and put the seatbelt on and go for that magic ride. That's what it means, Denise. You've got this. You're good. You just got to be patient. It's easy for me to say, but Karina waited 2 freaking years to get here. Denise Jefferson, Diego, everything you have said has been right on. Just happy that we invested in the EAD. Yeah, I'm glad you did too. We would not have been able to survive for 9 months before we could get to work. That explanation makes sense. Well, Denise, I'll give you a Mountain Dew salute because I'm not going to send you down the wrong rabbit hole. You got people's lives in right here. I feel like I got your life in my hand, and the information I give you has got to be 100% correct. Because if I make an error, okay, number one, you lose confidence in the channel, and number two, I could hurt your life. I could disrupt your life somehow. So I got to be 100% correct 100% of the time, and I am. I'm 100% correct 100% of the time. Denise, Kenneth's going to get his green card. The longest you're going to have to wait is 9 months at this point, okay? Let me see. Francois Livingston. Hello, Denise Jefferson. 3 to 9 months. Yes, correct. Francois, when you apply for Hamid's green card, when you work together, don't rush it. Don't file for his green card 2 weeks from now. Wait 50 or 60 days. Put together a fantastic green card application. Don't be in a big hurry. Immigration, if you file for a freaking green card 2 weeks after you got married, immigration is going to be sending you an RFE saying, what the heck? Real? Serious? You got 90 days to do all this. If you go past 90 days to put your green card package together, that's okay. You can go past 90 days. Immigration understand some things you got to take time with. The green card application is critical that you do it right and you put together a lot of evidence. You want to spend the next 30 to 40 days, Francois, Dina, folks who are getting ready to process a green card, you got to take lots of pictures together with family and friends. Put lots of wedding pictures together. If you can go on a wedding, if you can go on a honeymoon, go on a honeymoon. If you can't go on a honeymoon, don't worry about it. You don't have to have a honeymoon. But if you do, get lots of pictures. Include the plane tickets of the honeymoon, wherever you went. Or if you took a weekend, if you go on a weekend honeymoon in some place that's 30 miles away from your house, keep the receipts from the hotel. What you're putting together in a green card application is a proof of your real relationship. You guys love each other, and you're going to be forever together forever. Karina's going to have to put up with me forever. All right? So that's how it works. The green card application is proof to immigration that you guys are going to be together forever, that you're in a real relationship, and you are commingling funds. You're living in the same house. You're sharing responsibilities. You're sharing the responsibilities. Karina's working. She's doing great. Just like, dang, she's doing good. Let me see. Francois, why is it so long for the green card? Well, just imagine you walking into a football stadium. You're going to go watch the Super Bowl. How many people are in a stadium, at the stadium when you go watch a Super Bowl? 80,000 people? 70,000 people? That's how many people right now, approximately, are waiting for their green card. In Corbin, Kentucky, where they process the green cards, they have 400 employees. Okay, I'm telling you stuff I probably shouldn't be telling you, but they got 400 employees. They're working as hard as they can. Once they get the immigration approval to process the green card, they're working as hard as they can to do it. But the green card application requires security checks. Okay, on me, it's just not that easy. It's not that quick of a process. It was quick for us because we submitted, number one, a strong green card application. Number two, I'm retired military. So the security check on me was freaking easy. I already had a clearance in the Navy. So I've already been checked out by everybody under the sun and all the 3-letter alphabets. I've already been checked out. So it was a little quicker for us because Karina has a military ID. Okay. But if you're a civilian that's never gone through a security clearance like I have with the military, then it may take a bit longer. But I'm going to tell you guys, if you're patient, if you put together a really good, strong green card application and you're patient, you'll get it within 6 to 9 months right now. At this point, as of October 12th, 2024. Okay? Remember, we are now in the fiscal year 2025 for USCIS. Fiscal year 2024 ended on September 30th. We are now in a brand new fiscal year for USCIS. So they got a bunch more money. I think Congress gave them some more money, but primarily we pay for the processing from our immigration fees. So Denise, hang in there, Denise. Tell Kenneth, try to relax. Okay, you can survive this. You'll get the green card very soon. Denise, remind me again, when did you apply for the green card? What month? If you just tell me the month. I think it was what, May? Was it May of 2024? Jose Apolinar Ramirez. Everyone in this group, listen to Diego. That's good advice right there. He saves us so much money in this process. That's right. That's why I want to do it. So number one, I want you to get you the green card and the K1 visa so you can get reunited with your families. Number two, I want to save you thousands of dollars so you don't get freaking jacked by an immigration attorney. Now, that granted, they do a good job for the most part, and they're just trying to make a living. But I'm trying to save you that money, guys. It's very expensive. An immigration attorney is very expensive. But remember, what I would do is if you need an immigration attorney, ask that attorney, have you ever brought somebody to the United States before on a spousal or on a K1 visa? What's he going to say? What's she going to say? Oh, no, I just went to law school. I just know how to do this by studying books. Diego knows how to do this because I've been there and done it. I waded through the mud. Okay? Let me see here. I'll make sure I don't miss anything Jose said. I was going to include a form I-130. No, don't do that. On the adjustment of status, and Diego advises no. And Juliana got approved. There you go. If you would have put that I-130 in there, that would have put another freaking, crank in your wheel. I don't know. You don't need an I-130. An I-130 is only for if you are a spousal visa. If you're on a spousal visa or if you're bringing a mom to the United States. Here's a Mountain Dew salute to Jose. Vimy Lawler. Hello, Diego and Karina. I hope you're doing great. It's been 4 weeks, but still waiting under AP. However, I see the date is updated on the 10th of October. Still refused. What does it mean? Well, every single person that goes into an embassy interview or a consulate interview for a K1 visa, when you get approved, the immigration officer says that we've approved, and they give you a white piece of paper and say, here you go. It's going to show refused until the visa is actually processed and issued. When the visa is processed and issued, then it's going to go from refused to approved, then to issued. Same thing for Karina and everybody else. Everybody watching this channel right now, all around the world, in the Philippines, in India, Australia, England, Africa, North Africa, East Africa, West, South. You're watching this from New Zealand. The embassies are all going to say the same thing, refused, until it's approved and issued. Well, if the consular officer says to you, your visa is approved, then it's approved. You just got to wait through the administrative part of it. That's all. You got it? Vimy, yeah, it's a positive sign. Carlos, do you need to bring the original NOA-1 and NOA-2 for the K1 visa interview? No. Number one, you don't need the NOA-1 letter for the visa interview. You don't need to bring that. You do need a copy of the NOA-2 letter. You got to have a copy of the NOA-2 letter. Doesn't have to be notarized, doesn't have to be certified. Go to Office Depot or print it off from wherever. Print a copy of the NOA-2 letter. Your beneficiary's got to have it in her hand or his hand. Got to have the NOA-2 letter. You must include the NOA-2 letter in the green card application. If you do not include the green card application, the NOA-2 letter in the green card application, you'll get an RFE. Where's your visa approval? They're going to look for it. You must include Form I-94 in your green card application. If you don't, you're going to get an RFE. Where was your face-to-face meeting with the Border Patrol officer giving you permission to enter the United States? That's a Form I-94. Got to include it in the green card application. You got to make a copy of the K1 visa. You got to make a copy of the biographic page of your passport and your sponsors. So Karina has her Venezuelan passport, biographic page. I took a picture. I had a photo of my passport, and I think my passport expires in 2 more. I got 2 more years left on it. You got to include a lot of stuff in the green card application, guys, as long as you follow my videos that I put together for you, so you don't have to spend $4,000 just to file a freaking green card. You'll get it. So, Carlos, just get a copy of the NOA-2 letter, not the NOA-1 letter. You can bring it if you want, but it's not really relevant. Francois, so it's best to get married ASAP to start the green card process? Yes, because of how long it's going to take. Yes. Maybe Denise is right in saying to invest in the EAD. It's $260. If you want to get the work permit, Francois, because you think it's going to take 6 to 9 months to get the green card, then apply for the EAD. Pay the extra money. But if you can support Hamid in upstate New York, even with your high taxes and your crazy gasoline prices, if you can support him in New York, save that $260 and use it for something else and just take care of him until he gets his green card. But if you want to put Hamid to work, if you want to get him working, apply for the work permit. But be advised that you're going to get the work permit, okay? It's only going to be, when he applies for a job, it's going to be under the work permit, not the green card. So when he gets his green card, he's going to have to go back to his employer and say, I've changed my status. I'm now not under a 5-year work permit. I'm now a legal permanent resident. Okay? Denise Jefferson, Diego is right. It does not do any good to get anxious. No, don't get stressed over this. Don't sweat this. The truth is, we have only been waiting 5 months. Okay, Denise. We feel it in our spirit that it will be very soon. Again, no reason to push it as we are together. Denise, I'll make a prediction that that Kenneth will get his green card at the middle of November. In the middle of November, so this will give you some peace of mind in your brain. By the mid-November, at the latest, Kenneth will have his green card. Okay, you got it? That is correct. May 10th. I was good. I don't have the greatest memory. So you've only been waiting 5 months. So you got about a month and a half to go. Okay, Denise? And the reason I say that is because you spoke to immigration and they said you've already been waived on the interview. So you're good. Another 6 weeks, Denise. Now, so what I need to do for Denise and Kenneth is I got to throw all this pixie dust all over their green card application, right? Boom. In 2 to 3 weeks, let's say 4 weeks, you'll have it. All right? And I'll leave the pixie dust out just in case somebody else needs pixie dust. I gave Dina plenty of pixie dust. Now they're together in San Diego. Francois, well said, Denise Jefferson. Vimy Lola, this under administrative process gives me depression. Vimy, don't let immigration get under your skin. You qualify for the benefit, the visa approved, you just got to wait out the process. Don't be depressed, be happy. Be happy, be glad that you qualified for this benefit. Remember, a K-1 visa is not a right. It's a benefit, okay? If you marry a foreign national, that foreign national does not have a right to move to the United States because he or she married an American overseas. Let's suppose we got married in Colombia, let's suppose we got married in Colombia or Venezuela or in Chile or Paraguay or wherever. I would have been applying for a spousal visa and I'd have to go through the same process again, but through the National Visa Center via USCIS Service Center. The National Visa Center would be the one in charge of the process. But Karina wouldn't have a right to come here because she's married to an American. We got to qualify. The same is true with the K-1 visa. The U.S. government, under the Congress of the United States, doesn't have to grant this benefit to foreign nationals, but they do. And we can thank Vietnam veterans for that, okay? Vietnam veterans, during the Vietnam conflict, they were meeting Vietnamese ladies and they wanted to get married and bring them to America, but the Congress was blocking the process and the Vietnamese government was blocking the process. So all these Vietnam veterans wrote to their congressmen, their representatives, and started complaining and started filing, federal lawsuits and this and this and this back in the 70s. But what happened was the Congress, who were getting inundated with Vietnam veterans complaining about not being able to bring their brides to the United States, They created the K1 visa and the spousal visa. So if Karina got her K1 visa, why? Thank you, Vietnam veterans. Because if it wasn't for Vietnam veterans, this visa process wouldn't exist as it does right now. Joel 90, hi Diego. Hi Diego, if I file for my work permit and adjustment of status together, will work permit come first? Yes, that's correct. While I wait for the green card. Or they both come with my green card is ready. No, the work permit will come first. The work permit will come first, Joel, because they want to give you an opportunity to go to work before while your green card is still in process. Okay? So you get the work permit first. And then a few months later, you get the green card. Life in North Carolina. Well, we hope you're doing okay out there. Hello, Diego from Greensboro, North Carolina. You are number one YouTube fan. Thanks for all you do. Wow. Well, life in North Carolina. We're going to give you a Mountain Dew salute. Information, ladies and gentlemen, is critical in a K1 visa green card process. One error, one mistake on the paperwork will cause you delays and cost you money and cost you time. So Karina, I was in Villa de Leyva, Colombia with Karina on vacation, bored out of my freaking mind. And Karina said, you got a YouTube channel about Colombia. Why don't you change it in cooking? Why don't you change it into an immigration video YouTube channel? I already had the channel created. I said, oh, I got these videos about being together in Colombia. I said, okay, that's a good idea. And here we are. So I got all this information up here I give to you for free. I got almost 10 years of experience, guys. You know, immigration attorneys for the most part do a good job, but they cost a lot of money. And I can do this. And then these companies, there are companies out there that they say, well, you can pay me monthly. Pay me monthly. We'll set up a payment plan and I'll put your green card package together for you. Why? Why are you doing that? It's a waste of money. If you come on the channel, if you watch the videos I've made, it's all free. I'm saving you money, guys. Use the money for the wedding. Instead of paying $4,000 for a freaking green card application or a K1 visa, whatever, use the money for a wedding or a vacation or go see your prometida. Let me see here. Carlos, I will make sure to get her the military ID. Perfect. After we get married, and include photocopy in the green card application when we go to that point. That's correct, Carlos. When you get married, okay, now remember, you're going to have to bring the marriage certificate, the social security card, and her passport to the military base to get her a military ID. If she hasn't got her name changed on the social security card, it's still her maiden name, you're going to have to go back to the military base with her new social security card to update her status in TRICARE, okay, with the new social security card. Got it? Francois, Diego, why do you think the consulate didn't take the Form I-134? Because they already read it. They already knew your income. They looked at your income and they said, okay, you're good. They make you fill out the I-134 so immigration can see your income. If some immigration officers may not bother to even take it. They just look at it and go, you're good. And then it's on you to prove it when you file for the green card with the I-864, the affidavit of support. Some embassies take it. The embassy in Bogota took my I-134 from Karina. They took it. And they probably scanned it and put it in somewhere on a computer. Every embassy does things their own way. The ambassador at the embassy in the UAE he probably told his consular officers to speed up the process. Look at the income. Look at the signature by the sponsor. If it's there, don't even worry about making any more work for the immigration officer. Just approve the visa, which is what happened in your case. As for the medical exam, the second sealed envelope is a disc. Can't use it. A disc will not be accepted by immigration for a medical exam as a second medical exam. You cannot use a disc. They will not put a disc in their computers at USCIS because there could be a virus or malware on the disc. So they're going to protect their computers. Francois, what you need to do what I recommend you do to save you a big headache, Francois, listen to me, repeat the medical exam, get the vaccinations recertified, and get a second white envelope and include it in the green card application. Give yourself 60 days to do all this. Get married in the next week. Go get married. Because Karina and I landed in America on January 3rd, 2024. We got married January 14th. We were here, a very short period of time before we got married. And then we started the ball rolling with the green card paperwork. So the medical exam, the disc is no good. You may as well just keep it as a souvenir, okay? But redo the medical exam. I strongly recommend you do it to save you an RFE. Francois, it's not that I want to put him to work. All the man talks about is going to work. Well, God, yeah. I've been working since I was, 14 years old? My first paper round, I was 13. I like working. So I can understand Hamid wants to go to work. He doesn't want to sit around. There you go. Well, just apply for the work permit. Life in North Carolina. Yes, Diego is so right. We finally got our green card after waiting for 7 months with 3 RFEs. Wow, Mountain Dew salute. What's with the freaking RFEs? Life in North Carolina. She is from the Philippines. A salute to the beautiful people of the Philippines. Kumusta ka? And I will say in my best Tagalog, in my Filipino language skills, mahirap ang buhay. And what that means is sometimes life is hard, life is difficult, but you get through it. Hot dog and patience is the key to everyone's success. There you go. Good job, bro. Life in North Carolina. Easy eater, Francois. Your husband is going to work his butt off. That's right. There you go. You want to get you want to get Hamid working. You want to get, if you're a beneficiary coming to the United States, okay, you want to get into the system. You want to start working. You may not even need the money, but you want to get in the system to get working, to start paying into FICA, into Social Security, into Medicare, right? You want to start making those payments into Social Security and to Medicare, so when you become retirement eligible in the future, you're going to be eligible for Social Security. You have to work a minimum of 10 years, okay, to qualify for Social Security benefits. All right? So you're 20 years, let's suppose you're 25 years old, you come in here from India, you start working right away on the work permit, you got your green card, you continue to succeed and work, like Priyanka, who's working in Michigan as a pharmacist tech, making close to 80 grand a year. I would hate to see what her taxes are going to be next year. But it is what it is. But once you get into the system, like Karina's in the system, she pays her FICA tax, she's paying her Medicare tax. In 10 years from now, that's when she becomes qualifying for Social Security benefits, right? You want to be able to get that when you retire, right? Don't be sitting around as a beneficiary. Once you get to America and you got your green card, find a job, get into the system, start paying taxes, especially FICA and Medicare. Because in the future, you're going to be thanking me. You're going to say, hey, I remember watching that YouTube channel with Diego and Karina, 15 years ago. Now I'm qualified for Social Security benefits. Listen to me, guys. Joel Natty. Hi, Diego. Where do I mail my adjustment of status packet? I live in California. Okay, well, I'll type the address for you. You want me to give you the address? Huh? What? Francois, I forgot to tell you this, Diego. I was at ease talking to the consular officer at the U.S. Embassy. Well, yeah. They don't want you to, the U.S. Embassy, consular, immigration officers at the visa interviews, they're not trying to block you from getting your visa. They want you to get it. But they want to make sure that everything is above board and everybody's qualifying for the benefit. But let me type in the address here where Joel can mail his green card application, okay? This is FedEx. or UPS, right? This is by FedEx, UPS, or DHL. This is the courier service you're going to use for this address, okay? And I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just typing the address right here so that they know where to send their green card application. And that way you're going to get it there. Don't use the postal system. Use a courier service. That's a private company. If you use the postal service, it could get lost possibly. A courier service is a private company. They don't want to lose your stuff. It costs them money if they lose your stuff, right? Because it's a company that makes a profit. So you send it via DHL or UPS or FedEx, and that way you know it's going to get where it's going. It's not going to be lost. You're going to put your head down at night when you go to sleep and relax, knowing it's going to make it. This is, if you live in California, this is where you mail your green card application. Okay, if you live in California. Let me see. I'm looking. Francois, Easy, he talks about working every day. Easy, I tell my wife all the time, it's not a guarantee that our case will be accepted, but I'll be down if immigration doesn't approve the I-130 because it took my time and effort to put a very nice package. Easy is going through a spousal visa, so that's why they filed an I-130. If Easy was going through a K-1 visa application, he would have filed a 485 without an I-130. Denise Jefferson, Vimy Lawler, do not allow the process to stress you out. Francois is a witness that when the train takes off, you will barely be able to keep up. Your process will only progress. Stick with Diego. Denise, Mountain Dew salute. You're talking about trains. You know what I want to? I want to take Karina on that. I want to take her to Durango, Colorado, and take her on that train ride that's in Durango, Colorado. There's a train ride that goes all the way up into the mountains. And I remember I was in Colorado years ago when I was in the Navy. I was doing military duty there. And I saw this train ride in Durango, but I never took the opportunity to ride on it. I should have. But in a way, I'm glad I didn't, because now I want to take Karina on that train ride. And I'm also going to visit Utah. Karina wants to see Utah and Nevada and New Mexico. I'll take her to the UFO Museum in Roswell. How about that? America is a big place. There's so much to do here. Why are you focusing on trying to get advanced parole and planning trips back to your country where there's so much to do in the United States of America. Okay? Look for stuff to do here. Denise Jefferson to Francois, we followed Diego's map to the letter. There you go. Including the medical exam, and was able to validate that we avoided the interview. Diego and Karina should be charging for this information. Denise, I can't charge you. I can't charge people for this information. This is a public service. I want to help you guys for free, so you don't have to pay an immigration attorney. But I tell you what, we appreciate the super chats and the super stickers. We do appreciate that. I mean, instead of paying $4,000 for an immigration attorney, and a super sticker or a super chat is much appreciated. But we don't ever ask for that. I want just to get families reunited. That's all I want to do. Karina and I, we hated it when we were separated. I was here in Florida. Karina was in Colombia. We were separated. Man, it was like, man, I couldn't stand it. It was such a hard thing to do. But if you're patient, you get through the process. And if you know that you're going to succeed, which you will, as long as you qualify, then you got to keep calm. You got to keep your brain calm. Keep your emotions calm. Okay. Let me see here. So Denise says we should be charging for this information. I'll never charge. I'll never do that. Easy to Denise, you ain't lying. We need to buy Diego lunch for the next 10 years. No, you don't have to do that. For all the great advice on this channel, it's all good. It's all good. Francois, Diego, we will most definitely follow your advice on the medical exam. Yeah, Francois. Some immigration officers will get your green card application, and they just look at the vaccination paperwork. Some immigration officers will get your green card paperwork, and they're looking for the medical exam. If you don't have it, you're going to get an RFE. It's like playing dice in Las Vegas. It all depends on the mindset of the consular officer who's adjudicating your green card. So what's the best way to avoid getting an RFE? Include the medical exam. The immigration officer is going to open your package up and go, oh, okay, they got the medical exam, they got the vaccinations recertified, check, check. They're serious about each other. They're investing in this process. Okay, as soon as Karina got to Florida, first thing I did was call the civil surgeon up in Pensacola, Florida, and say, hey, I need a medical exam for a green card application. Do you do that? Well, I know he did. He said, sure, no problem. Send me over Karina's vaccination records. So I scanned it, emailed it to his administrative assistant. She looked at her vaccination record, and then she emailed me back and said, they're good. Everything's perfect. Everything is good for a green card application. Check. And then we drove over to Pensacola. She did her medical exam, repeated it. The doctor signed the 693. He folded it up. The doctor, the civil surgeon, has the 693 at his or her office. You don't have to go on a computer and print out a 693. The doctor already has it in his office. So the doctor will go in and sign it, print it all up, and then you sign it, or she will sign it, put it in a white envelope and seal it and give it to you. It says, for USCIS eyes only. Put it in the green card application, and you just go to bed at night knowing that you're not going to get an RFE on the medical. Right? It's better to spend a little bit more money for peace of mind than to wander. Well, let me try and save $200. There's no need to repeat the medical exam. She had a medical exam in Colombia. Why got to repeat it? Well, because this immigration officer will say, okay, no worries. But this immigration officer may want to see it. It's 50-50. I don't play 50-50. I want 100%. So I just went over there and paid for the doctor. Francois, repeat it. Carlos, you and Karina can stay at the famous Stanley Hotel in Estes Park from the movie The Shining. Oh, okay. That's where. Is that in Colorado? Where's that at? Denise Jefferson, to Easy E, I feel lucky to have encountered this channel as it has made the process seamless for me and my husband. The education provided here is priceless. Well, I'm almost out of Mountain Dew, but I want to give a Mountain Dew salute to Denise because she's making my head swell here. But we want to help families get reunited. That's why we do this. Francois, what's a good number of people to have at the wedding? We've had to change where we're going to get married. Friends have suggested we wait 2 months to get married. No, don't wait 2 months to get married. No, immigration is going to look at that and go, why'd you wait so long? Were you not sure about each other? Were you not sure about getting this marriage thing going? That's not a good idea. Get married. Listen to me, Francois. Get married in the next 2 weeks. Okay? And you want to get as many people as you can go to the wedding. Get as many people as you can to go to the wedding. Whoever shows up, shows up. Whoever doesn't show up, don't worry about it. But you got to I would say get married in the next 2 weeks. Then you can start the process for the Social Security number. Well, you can already do that now, with the I-94. You don't want to wait 2 months to get married because immigration will look at the dates and say, why'd you wait so long to get married? Were you not getting along? Were you second guessing this? Think like an immigration officer. That's how I get these green cards approved. And these K-1 visas, I get them approved because I think like an immigration officer. Let me see here. So, Carlos, we're going to stay at the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park. I'm going to assume that's in Colorado. Easy E to Denise, I'm happy for you. I'm also benefiting from this channel as my case moves along. There you go. Francois, I have missed this channel so much. Francois, we were always here for you. But you were having a good old time in the United Arab Emirates where it was 120 degrees, right? You could go outside of your hotel and you could crack an egg on the front of that Ferrari in the in the hotel where you stayed. There's all these Ferraris and Mercedes. You go out there, crack an egg on the hood, and you could cook an omelet on the hood of the car. It's so hot in the Middle East. Francois, we will get married within the next couple of weeks. Thank you. Francois, you need to. You need to. If you wait till the last day of your I-94 to get married, or the last month, immigration is going to think there was maybe an issue there. Maybe you were second guessing everything. We got married within 10 days. So was it 10, something like that? Denise Jefferson. The sad part is that we drop off when we get to certain stage, but Diego and Karina keep coming back. We're not going anywhere. I'm grateful that Karina does not mind and even joins Diego regularly. Thank you. To both. Juntos, gracias para ti, para mí. Denise, we're not going to go anywhere. I'm basically retired twice, 3 times, retired from the Navy, retired from Mercedes-Benz, retired from real estate, but I'm not retired. I'm working here doing the YouTube channel. It's something to do. But more importantly, it's reunification for families. I mean, I helped somebody get to the United States. This guy, okay, was a refugee in, I'll just say this, he was in a North African country that wasn't politically stable. He got refugee status in another African country. He forgot his passport in the country he left, so he was granted like a pass into this other country. He didn't have a passport. His sponsor, an American citizen in the United States, filed for his K-1 visa, but he was not in his home country, so she had to change the embassy location to the second country, which I helped her change the location. There's a process through the MVC. He didn't have a passport. Well, there's a process where you can come to America, okay, on a K-1. If you are a refugee from a certain countries, you can get a K-1 visa approved without a passport. And I did all this for him. I walked him through it step by step by step by step. Now he's living in, I think he's in New Mexico. Happily married, okay, with no passport, but he got his K-1 visa on a separate document. There's a Department of State form that you can put the K-1 visa on if you don't have a passport. But you got to qualify because of your status. But I knew the process, because Karina's from Venezuela, okay? So there was a process in place for her if she didn't have a passport, if her passport expired, there's a process in place. I knew the process. I got him to the United States. He had no clue what to do. So he was on the channel for about 6 months. Now he's in America, married. I don't know what he's doing, but he's happy. And number one, he's safe. He's safe and secure. Francois had the best time in Abu Dhabi, went to the 74th floor at the Etihad Observatory and saw the whole city from above. It was awesome, but you wouldn't have liked the height. No. Not me. Karina said, we were in Bogota, Colombia, and I said, hey. Huh? Yeah, it's cuatro, or what? Cuatro ocho. 48 stories, okay? The Colpatria Tower in Bogota is the tallest building in Colombia, in Bogota. I don't think it's the tallest building in Colombia, but it's the tallest building in Bogota. She said, hey, let's go to the top. I'm thinking it's like the World Trade Center, because I went to the top of the World Trade Center back in 1982 and 1986, etc. I said, okay. So we go to the top of the Colpatria Tower. And when I went to the top of the World Trade Center, there was windows all around it's 110 stories high. The World Trade Center was 110 stories high. And there's windows all around. So I could go up to the window and look down and say, there's New York City. I go to the top of the Colpatria Tower and there's no windows. There's just a freaking wall. with a fence. And I'm like, where's the windows? And my brain said, you ain't going over there. Yeah. My brain said, if you go over there, you're going to die. So I did it. So I said, Karina, I need you to make videos. Mm-hmm. So she took the cell phone and she's hanging over like this. She's making videos, and we're way up in the clouds, and I'm up against the wall like this. I'm not going near that thing. I'm not going close. My brain wouldn't let me walk across to the wall, but I could see. I'm like, oh yeah, we're high up. I said, come on, let's go get something to eat. She goes, no, I just got up here. I said, well, I'm ready to go. She goes, so we stayed up there for what, 30 minutes, 20 minutes? We stayed up there for 30 minutes. And my brain was going, this isn't good. This isn't good. And then Karina said, okay, I'm ready to go. I said, okay. So we went inside. And as soon as I went inside the building, and I'm surrounded by walls again, my brain started to function normally. And we went down and went to the ground floor, and I looked up and I said, man, I'm serious. I said, when I was in the World Trade Center, 110 stories high, it wasn't difficult. The Colpatria Tower to me was hard for me to do. There's no way, Francois, that I would go up to the top of the 74th floor of the observatory in the UAE. Karina would go. And I would sit down in the restaurant down below and say, okay, Karina, go and enjoy the view. And I will sit down here in the restaurant and relax. Denise Jefferson to Francois. Couple of weeks is perfect. There you go. My husband arrived on 4/8. We got married 4/11. He was so jet lagged. We forgot to dance together for the pictures. But 2 weeks is perfect. Francois says, thank you, Denise Jefferson. With that, guys, I've been talking. Have you got any more questions for me? Come on. Today we had a good day. I'm here to answer your questions. Francois is back in America. Denise is going to get Kenneth's green card soon. Another 6 weeks, probably the longest you're going to wait, Denise. 6 more weeks. Francois is going to get married in 2 weeks, but just take your time. Put in the green card package together. Okay, I'll answer your questions on how to do it if you need help. Okay, it's not a racehorse. It's not a rush. It's not a race. It's not a marathon. It's a serious business. The K1 visa application is serious business. You don't rush into it. If you've only made one trip to see your beneficiary and stayed 5 days and you've only known each other for 3 months, don't be surprised if you don't get your K1 visa. Okay, it's a slow process. It's a relationship building, and it's paperwork, and it's patience. Francois, Diego, it was 21 hours journey from Abu Dhabi to upstate New York. 21 hours. I bet you are wore out. Wore out. But Francois, get married within the next 2 weeks, and then start your green card application. But you need to get a social security number for Hamid. He needs to get on your bank. He needs to get on your house deed or your whatever. He needs to get on all your utilities, as many as you can. You got to get lots of pictures together at the wedding with as many people that you can muster. You got to identify the names of the people in the wedding picture. You got to say the place of the wedding and the date the pictures were taken. Okay? You put them all in nice, beautiful document protectors. Put together, don't forget to print the I-94, get the passport biographic pages of yours and his passport, the K1 visa. And then once you get married and he's on your bank account, wait for a couple of bank statements to come in, which shows your name and his name on the bank account. So immigration's going to see, okay, Francois and Hamid got married on this date. Now they've started a joint bank account on this day. You're going to keep those bank statements for the 10-year green card. So when you get married and you're on the joint bank accounts together, you get your first bank account statement as a joint account holder. You get your first one. Keep that account, keep that printout. Keep it. Keep it. and make a copy for the 10-year green card application. You got to start planning for your 10-year green card once you get into America and get married. Okay, granted, you're going to file for the 2-year green card. It's a conditional green card. It's not. You're not renewing a 2-year green card. You are lifting the conditions off of it. You renew a 10-year green card, but you do not renew a 2-year green card. It's a conditional. Okay, it's a temporary. You cannot renew it. Once the date goes, it's gone. It's expired. It's gone. It's no longer functioning. So within 90 days of your 2-year green card expiring, you got to lift the conditions and apply for the 10-year. Antonio, my wife has been here for 6 months. She's from the Philippines and she works at Walmart. Well, there you go. What's the best way she can start building her credit? Get her a credit card. Listen, Antonio, your wife should be on your bank account statement. You should be joint account holders. Okay? Contact your bank or apply for a credit card. Now, what's going to happen is if you get a credit card from your bank, it's a lot easier than as a joint account holder than if she was to apply separately for her own credit card, because she has 0 credit right now. She's at a flat 0. All right. So like Karina is a joint account holder on our bank. So my bank looks at my credit and they said, okay, you're going to cover Karina if something happens. Yeah. Karina got her credit card and she's creating her credit. Okay. Get her a credit card. Have her start buying stuff on the credit card and paying it off. Don't accumulate big credit card debt. Don't do that. Buy stuff on the credit card. Go to Walmart, buy your groceries, and then pay off the bill at the end of the month. The quickest way to build credit in the United States, the fastest way to increase your credit score is to pay your monthly credit card bill off every month. That's how you do it. And you only need 1 credit card. Don't be getting 3 or 4 credit cards, because that's going to kill you on the credit score. You're going to have all these credit cards with all this opportunity to spend money. The credit card companies are going to look at that as dangerous. So just get 1 credit card and then start using it and then paying it off every month, and that will increase your credit score quickly. Francois, I realize there's a lot to do after getting married. Thank you so much for the valuable information. Francois gets the last word. Easy E, have a good night, guys, and we will see you on Wednesday. And thanks for the super chats, guys. We appreciate you. We really do.